All right, welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to add harmony to our theme and variations using a very simple system to get us started. And eventually we'll be talking about how to make things sound a little bit more sophisticated as we go along. All right, so let's log in. Once you've logged in, take your cursor and hover over home. And right next to home is this square orange box with 9 white boxes in it. Go ahead and click on that. I like to call it the waffle. And then we're going to move down to where it says Content Manager. It's the folder looking icon. Click on that. This will take you to your saved content. So this is my theme and variations. And I'm going to go up to Edit. So once it's loaded, we're going to go ahead and I want to listen to my theme because it's been a while since I've listened to it in a couple of days. So I'm going to click on that note. That's going to allow me to set where the playback is going to start. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hit play, start playback, or you can actually just hit your space bar. Well, I hear a mistake there, so I have to go back to that. Here's my first variation. Here's my second variation in minor. Think about the Mahler. This is my third variation, which I haven't labeled yet, so we'll talk about that as well. All right, so I'm going to go back to my first page. I heard a mistake, so I'm going to fix that. I must have somehow hit this note down. So I'm going to move that note back up. I'm going to go ahead and file. Remember to save often because you will lose this work. So I fixed that note. Continue to compose. And then I forgot to write my third variation. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click on the text tool. I'm going to move this text actually up. And then I'm going to type variation. File. Remember to save. All right, so let's get started on harmony. So the first thing I'm going to do, I like to think of this as kind of like paint by the numbers, right? We talked about using these scale degrees to help us out in previous assignments. I'm going to go ahead and label all my scale degrees in my first theme. So I'm going to click on the ink pen, and then I'm going to click on this note, and I'm going to figure out what scale degree is that. Well, it's 1. This is 2. I can hit spacebar to move my cursor over. 2, spacebar again. 3, 1. I'll look here. This is 2. Spacebar 3, 4, 2. This is 6. 6, 7, 8, or 1. And then spacebar 6. And then this is 5. Let's keep going. So this is 3. This is 2, 1, or 8. Remember, they're interchangeable like that. 3. This is 2. This is 1. I can always click on the notes, or I can use my space bar. Right? 7. 2. This is 5. 4. 3. 5. And I'll label these 2. This is 2. 7, 1. All right, so now, again, I'm going to go File, Save. So harmony, right? So I'm to keep this as simple as possible, I'm going to keep everything in its diatonic key, meaning I'm not going to add any accidentals or any sharps. Okay? I'm going to take a look at my first note in every single measure, and that's how I'm going to create my bass line. Again, this is a really simple approach. It can get more sophisticated as we go through, and maybe your skills already allow you to do that, which is fine. I say experiment, and this is geared for everybody. Hopefully you're learning something, if not, we're reinforcing it. And if you've never done anything like this before, hopefully you're getting a grasp for how composers and music kind of work. So I'm just going to go ahead and see it. This is F. So I'm going to put an F on the bass line. This is a G, right? 2. This is a 6. So I'm going to look here. If I don't read bass clef, I can go 6. Okay, I notice that's the third line. Boom. I already added 5 here. Now I'm going to go here and I'm going to, again, 3 is A, 2 is G, 5 is C, and then I have my bass line already. So let's hear what that sounds like. All right. Again, hit space bar or the start playback. Okay, I'm going to stop there. That sounds good to me, right? There's nothing that's a red flag, meaning it doesn't sound bad. I really just want something almost, if I'm doing, if my objective is to write something that sounds good, maybe it's almost good enough to just be ignored too, right? I'm just starting out. So my goal is just to make sure that my listeners aren't uncomfortable when they listen to it. So the next thing I'm going to do is build harmony off of this bass note. And the simplest way for us to do that is to what we call building triads. So you start on scale degree, the first note that you have in your bass, and then just go up to the next space or line. You're going to skip the first line or space depending on what your note starts on. In this case, we start on a space directly below the first line. I'm going to add a note on top of that, which is the third, and then another note on top of that called the fifth. So we have the root, third, and fifth. Notice all of these are in thirds, space, 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 or line, line, line. And I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to go to File, going to save. You can always delete things. You can't always just start over. So now I'm going to go here. I'm going to hear what this sounds like. Click on my first note. So there you go. That's a quick start. Now, you might listen to something and say, that sounds a little funky. Well, then you're always probably just one note away. So if these didn't sound good, maybe I try moving them all up one line, up to the line or the space. I can also take inventory and see how many notes do I have in this. So that's why I go back to this lyric tool. Okay. For instance, let me see here if I can highlight something. Maybe I don't know how to do that. Okay, that's all right. I'll come back to it. Oh, that's okay. Here we go. So this is scale degree 1, and this is scale degree 1. So I see a lot of 1s in here more than I see 2s and 3s, right? So that's why I think that reinforces that that's a good bass note. So as you go through your each measure, and if, for instance, you see more 3s than you, and 3s exist on 2, 3 beats 2, 3, and 4. well, then maybe you put the 3 in the bass line and you build a tryout off of that. And if it doesn't sound good when you play it, maybe that's a great opportunity for you to ask a question. All right. I hope this helps. Remember to ask for help if you'd like it. I'm here for you. That's my job. And you can always go back to this video and review. Okay. I hope this helps. And I will see you all again here soon for another video tutorial. Be well.